side. Tonight, we'll be discussing last night's nominations. But we are not talking about the NTAs. This is so much more important than they were. We've had everything tonight, from sitting on the fence to sitting on the sofa, friends with benefits to celebrities on benefits. Here's a quick reminder of what went down.
I can now reveal the celebrity housemate with the fewest votes and fourth to be evicted is Liz.
Louisa, your power to nominate has been rescinded. The housemates facing eviction this week are Jim, Ollie, Louisa, Linda and Lee.
I knew they'd rescind my vote.
Fucking bullshit. I can't believe that.
Both my nominations, I'm quite happy about, because it could have been a fucking lot worse. That's it.
I am wonderful and I am great. And I look over this house from my superiority of excellence.
That's so unfair.
Ollie, it's the most self-indulgent display I've ever seen in my life,
Ollie,
and I'm
it was a bit
embarrassed
ridiculous.
for you. You made everyone sit there and you addressed the group and basically told everyone that you're nominated because you're fabulous.
A drama-filled episode again. Would you like to see how Louisa was feeling this morning? Yeah. Here we go.
How did you upset Ollie?
Oh, because I took the piss out of him. And he heard me and he got all upset and nearly cried. Can't cope with the people in this house. They're all fucking delusional. They've all got delusions of grandeur. They all think that they're better than they are, or that they're amazing, or that they're somehow not real people. I don't know. It's just like, I've never seen a more embarrassing display of self-indulgence than I saw last night from Ollie. I've just never experienced I've never experienced anything like that in my life. And then everyone started clapping. Like it's normal. It's not normal. Who does that? Jim starts clapping like he's fucking addressed the people of the nation. I mean, come on, let's keep it a bit real. It was fucking ridiculous.
That slightly wound me up a little bit, so let's not go there. OK, so Liz has gone, which means we've got an extra £5 to spend on booking guests for the panel tonight. Ooh, we're so lucky. Tonight, we are in the presence of someone very special indeed. We've only been able to book Wales on Sunday's hottest man of 2010. It's Matt Johnson.
I'll still take it, baby.
4 years old and you're still trying to live off it. She may have been first out of the jungle last year, but now she's swung onto the Bots panel, aka otherwise known as the Graveyard of Dreams. It's Annabelle Giles. And last but by no means least, he's a Cornish comedy legend who's hotter than the Eden Project itself. It's the wonderful Jethro! Now that I've got my mouth working again, let's crack on with the show we just watched, shall we? Let's start. You're very quiet this evening. What's the matter with you? No. Oh! Annabelle, did you have any sympathy for Ollie during tonight's show and during the task when they were at the whole
Absolutely. I think, I mean, I have more sympathy because Louisa, who speaks like a baby, you know, I'm sorry, but, you know, she speaks like a little girl so that nobody realises that what she's saying is absolutely horrendous. Why should somebody who's good have to stick up for themselves? Normally people should defend themselves if they've done a bad thing. I don't know why, if someone's been honest and with integrity, I don't know why they should have to stick up for themselves. I think she rather despises somebody being good. Which says more about her than him.
And somebody not just shouting off what they think about everyone, good or bad, to their face,
need
whether
more
it kind
solidarity,
of makes
you
them
know.
feel bad about themselves
It's just
or not.
ludicrous.
But what about the sitting on the fence task? What did you think
Oh,
of him?
poor
in
Ollie.
that?
I mean, poor Ollie, because he suffers from people-pleasing, doesn't he? And he honestly wanted to scratch his own face off, didn't he? Just wants to go, I can't do it! And did everything he could to wriggle out of it. But then, I mean, I think it was probably very good for him as a person. He's probably grown.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not British. It's just not British.
I really like
things
the whole
that.
sitting on the fence thing.
Yeah,
I think
I
it showed
enjoyed
that
it,
we've
though.
acknowledged the fact that they do sit on the fence. They
Yes.
don't really,
Yes.
they don't really comment lots on what's going on. But then, as we saw Ollie do at the end of tonight's show, when he explains it like that, I think good on him.
Yeah.
What, you know, otherwise you're just
Absolutely.
dragged
He's
into the
actually
bitching and the
thought
bitterness
about what
and-
he's doing.
Yeah.
Isn't
What
that great?
about Sam, Matt? We saw a slightly more. She was very happy to give her opinions in that, wasn't she? So much so it
Yeah.
almost sounded like Ollie just kind of went, "Oh, I'm just going to do the same thing
I'd
because it's
just
much
do the
easier
same
that
as
way."
Sam. Yeah, it was nice to see Sam say something and do something and have an opinion for a change. It was nice for her to actually have the platform to speak her mind, and I think that's nice for her. I think maybe she'll have some more fans from that now. I think the audience obviously are agreeing with me because you're all nodding your heads. And I just
put it on them.
I'm putting it right on you guys. Thank you.
Again, with Sam, she kept it on the nice side of opinionated rather than the kind of brutal, I'm just going to tell you what I think and not really care
That's
about your
just her.
feelings.
That's some people just can't be mean, and that's just her. And you can't force somebody to be mean.
Exactly.
If it's an opinion, if it's a positive opinion, I'm happy with
It's
that.
like you, Matt. Can't force you to be mean, can we ever?
You could.
Okay. So the housemates nominated again, face to face for the second time. Jim received 4 nominations against him. Why do you think, Jethro, that the House is constantly targeting him?
The what?
That the House is constantly targeting him?
Oh, Jim?
Yeah.
Because he's a threat. If you're going to play a football team, you knock out their best player. And he's the best player. And he's quietly running the whole show. They're all swimming around Jim. You take Jim out of the house, it'll be like having a fireplace with no fire in it. He is the one that sets the flame.
It's a very good point, actually.
And as long as he's there causing the controversy he is, he'll stay there until the end. I don't think he'll win it. I think he'll get to the end and then be beaten at the Pope.
Yeah.
What do you lot think?
Yeah, I think he's got a good chance. Actually, at Jim, the last
Good
day
job
or
you're
so...
here, Paul, because the rest of them aren't saying anything.
Thank you, Emma, thank you. Do you know what I think? In the last day or so, I think Jim has now got a good chance of actually winning because I think... No, listen. Tomorrow night, I think Linda will go. And I think then, if Jim slips back into funny mode, I think he's got a serious chance of winning. He's got a lot of support on the internet, and I think he's playing a bloody good game.
Well, Linda is facing eviction for the first time. Do you think she took the news well, Annabelle?
Well, in that she sat with her mouth downturned, looking like a grumpy old bag, yes. But, I mean, I suspect Linda's probably really lovely, but I also suspect that she's being edited to look like a grumpy old bag. So, you know, I do worry about what goes on when we're not watching, and I'm sure they all seem to really love Linda, apart from the 2 people nominated her. You know, so I'm sure she's much nicer than we think, but she just seems to always only get on screen when she's arguing.
I think, well, that's you know,
That's the
with an
story.
hour of
course, I
highlights to show
understand that.
the big story, I would imagine, and Jim and
Believe
Linda
me.
bickering.
Yeah.
And you see that whatever way you see it,
Yeah.
depending on what side of the fence you actually sit on. We brought it back round to the task again. That's wonderful. So Ollie gave a rousing speech. We've touched on it slightly with Annabelle. Let's go to the audience. So what are your thoughts?
I have to say this, right? Ollie does not have a bad bone in his body, and I love the guy. And do you know what? It's not fair. He doesn't want to start arguments, so he's kept it on the side. But one time he actually feels he needs to say something, and he did. I mean,
and then they jump on him
she
for
targets him.
being honest.
She says things about people 24/7, and no one says anything. And I'm 100% on his side. I think she's really, really wrong, and it made me angry to watch that.
Anybody agreeing with Louisa?
Yes, a little bit. I mean, it was still embarrassing what Ollie was doing. He was
Why
putting
was
himself
it embarrassing,
out.
though?
Well, because he put himself out there, and
They
everyone
said,
was
you haven't got any balls, so he said,
everyone was
right,
sat around
okay.
going, "Oh, this is so great," and actually, it's a little bit embarrassing to
But
be.
is that Ollie's fault that they
No,
planned
he's
it?
still a nice guy, but I can kind of see what Louisa was saying. She's saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, it's really embarrassing," and I can kind of see that.
She did have a smile on her face.
She
did have a smile on her face. Everything she does, whatever you say about her, love or hate her, one, she set this series alight, and number 2, she takes the piss out of everyone, but it's with a smile on her face.
Yeah, it is with a smile on her face, and I think that's why she's such a brilliant housemate. Again, whether you love Louisa or don't love Louisa, she's been a firecracker in there, as has Jim. I mean, if those two weren't in there, who knows? If we'd have been extended by 5 days. Okay, so as a comedian, Jethro, you are used to speaking in front of large groups of people. How did you think Ollie did when he addressed?
I think Ollie was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He, through all the rubbish and all the rubbish and the argument that had gone on, he just kept his counsel. And then when the push come to shove, Ollie got up and put the lot straight. If you was going to send one of those people in there to do a business deal, you'd send Ollie.
He did. He kept his cool very well. I've got to say, I take my hat off to him tonight. Jim, Matt, seemed very happy that Ollie had an argument with Louisa as well. Does this confirm his position of power in the group, do you think?
I think it definitely does, yeah. As Jethro said earlier, I think Jim is the fire in the fireplace of the Big Brother house. He's the leader, and I think he's stirring, yes, but he's keeping charge of everybody. I don't think there would be a good, balanced house without him. He's been, for me, the breakthrough kind of star of this series, to be honest. And I believe in Jim.
You believe in Jim? Okay, thanks very much, everybody. Now, tomorrow is eviction number 5, which means we are 6 days and 8 celebrities away from crowning our 2014 champion. But before that, we need to... Get someone out! Yes! Now, this lot might not be fussy. Trust me, I know I spend every night with them, but I know you lot at home like to put a bit more thought into it. So here are the numbers you need to save your faith. This week, Jim, Lee, Linda, Louisa and Ollie all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 644 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Jim, add 05. For Lee, add 06. For Linda, add 07. For Louisa, add 10. For Ollie, add 11. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. For full terms, go to channel5.com/bbvote. On the side. Now, before we carry on with part 2, I just want to say something really quickly. I do not like confrontation. In fact, I'm famously not good at confrontation. However, nominations last night made me feel about a million different things. Weirdly, I was in a good mood, which was strange because firstly, it was absolutely freezing and I was in a short skirt. But I do not bitch or moan because that's not who I am. I haven't had an argument with one person in this place. I've managed to stay friends with everybody because I do the right thing. And if I manage to come out of this and make Big Brother a better place to work, then my job is done. Because that is what I've tried to do my entire life. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you. Ollie has made a living by making a right show of himself in Made in Chelsea and now in Boreham Wood. But exactly where did Ollie come from before that?
With so many questions mounting and hype surrounding Ollie's Southampton roots, I'm here to meet his mother, the woman that pushed a little pecker out to shed some light on it all. Hello, Sarah. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hug or a kiss. And thank you for having me in your home. I can't wait to find out about Ollie. Where do you think we should start first?
Kitchen?
Yeah.
Cup of tea?
Yes, please.
Come on then.
Do you think Ollie's going to be upset when he finds out I've come to your house?
No, I'd be delighted that you've come to my house and had my hospitality.
What was he like growing up? Was he good boy or naughty?
Easy peasy peasy. He was the easiest child in the world.
Did you like it when he cut his hair short? Because obviously it was long. No, you didn't.
No, not at all. I loved his hair when it was long. But saying that, he had his ears pinned back, he had plastic surgery on them, before he had his hair cut. That's why he grew his hair long. They used to call him at school FA Cup ears.
They used to call
As in the handles of the
Sorry,
FA Cup.
I shouldn't laugh.
You're allowed to laugh.
Where are we now?
We're in Oliver's bedroom.
Oh, so this used to be Oliver's bedroom?
It used to be Oliver's bedroom.
Right, where the magic happened.
Absolutely.
So, any good stories about Oliver's bedroom?
This is where he lost his virginity.
No. Yeah. How old?
19, I think.
Late bloomer?
Yeah.
So there's rumours going around at the moment that Ollie kind of fancies Sam. How would you feel about Sam being part of the Locke family?
Sam's very welcome.
Obviously we're in Southampton.
We
Ollie's
are.
from Southampton.
He is.
How did the Made in Chelsea happen? Because Made in Southampton doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
He moved up to London when he was 18 and worked for clubs on doorways, wearing thermal underwear underneath crazy outfits, and just got to know a lot of people, and they offered him the job in Made in Chelsea.
Please, Mummy Locke.
Yeah, sweetie.
So has Ollie always wanted to go to Celebrity Big Brother?
When it came up, he said, great, that's brilliant, let's do it.
Can I have a look at your photos of him?
Yeah, of course.
This is a good ear one, pre-ear op. I'm sorry, but he was such a good-looking boy. These are just so cute. Look at that. Because Craig Davies from Southampton, have you ever bumped into him here?
His auntie is my dentist.
That is the best fact I've heard in the last minute.
Yeah, darling.
Thank you, and thank you so much for showing me around your lovely home.
Thank you for coming to see us all.
Is this fizzy wine for me?
Well, it's champagne. Oh, of course it is. Of course it is.
Cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you. Well, that was exciting. A privileged insight into a privileged individual. From Southampton to Chelsea, from Chelsea to Bournemouth, a rollercoaster journey that hasn't quite yet come to an end.
Southampton, home of the stars, Craig David and Ollie Locke is very glamorous. Right, joining me now to cast a psychotherapist's eye over the housemates is a woman who will always hold a very special place in our hearts. The greatest gladiator since Spartacus. It's Diane Udale. It's true.
Oh, goodness.
It is true.
Throw down the gauntlet.
Okay, let's start with the get off the fence task. It gave Ollie and Sam a great opportunity to kind of say what they thought. What did you think of it?
I thought it was genius. It was inclusive and it got under all of our skins because it did initiate this kind of whole ball rolling of what we've seen in the last 24 hours. And I felt quite uncomfortable in bits. But did it get under the skin of our fence sitters? One big, fat, big brother? Hell yes.
Well, you felt uncomfortable watching it.
I did.
How uncomfortable was Ollie doing it? Let's have a look at him.
I think that Lee benefits more from the Lee and Casey situation because I feel that if Jasmine was to leave, and Jasmine did leave, he could go back and Casey took him back, but not in that way, as like a friend way.
Oh my God.
I don't even want to do this game. I fucking hate it. I really hate it. I don't want to be here.
Don't worry, babe.
And it's upsetting me and I don't want to be here.
So what do you notice from that clip about the way he dealt with being forced to confront everything?
Two things. He couldn't deal with it. He had to be rescued virtually on every part of the task by the rest of the housemates until Brother stepped in saying, for goodness sakes, can you leave him on his own to make his own mind up about this? He just can't. He doesn't have the resources to do so.
For the second time, what's wrong today? I couldn't say comedian earlier. You couldn't say that. I can't say this. For the second time this series, the housemates nominated Face to Face. The task was still on Linda's mind. Let's take a look at this.
And my second nomination is Ollie. I really do feel that you should grow a pair of balls. I know it's lovely to be the man in the middle that everybody loves and you don't want to upset anybody, but sometimes just an opinion is not going to turn people against you. And I think for you, you should stand up and be counted sometimes.
So where does that leave Ollie within the group?
His standing in the group has actually gone up because everybody unconsciously has seen that he can pull it out if he needs to. He finds these little baby claws eventually, but it's very new to him. What he's also demonstrated is that his EQ, his emotional quotient, in other words, how his head and his heart links together, is very high. And for the girls, that's great because he's already bonded with the guys.
What I found really weird was, so that was the nomination. Then we saw Louisa in the bedroom saying, I was going to change my nomination if they'd have let me, to Dappy, because Ollie, you know, he is who he is. And if he likes to sit on the fence, and if he doesn't really like to have an opinion, if he doesn't like conversation, why should we say that's a bad thing to nominate him for? And then all of a sudden, he did his speech.
Yes.
And she totally turned her viewpoint on it.
Well, she was. I think she was clutching at straws because she's actually seen the might of Ollie, and we'll come to it in a minute. She didn't expect because he did a very clever thing.
Okay, after face-to-face nominations, Louisa said that she'd never met a bunch of spineless men in her life. So why do most of the male housemates, I'm not going to say all of them because we know Jim is very opinionated and will say what he thinks, but why are most of them scared to say what they feel?
Would you say much of what you could feel in there at the moment with those girls?
Well, I
with their
suppose
line
Ollie's a prime example. He said what he felt and then he got jumped on for it.
Exactly. Well, the boys know that they're kind of safe. Boys need boys and they need that kind of bonding. We all know that about our boys. But the girls are truly, and I'm using the analogy through this, they are proper lionesses. There was some research done a couple of years ago that women can absolutely demolish with words alone. Guys may need volume and strength and all sorts of other things, but women can demolish just with words in an argument. So they've learned to go tiptoe around the roses.
Aren't we good? Aren't we good, us women? We can just demolish you with words. So after Big Brother revealed who was up, Ollie, as we said, had something to say and he wanted to get it off his chest. I really liked it. I'm not being all pro-Ollie, I'm just saying tonight I thought he really shone. Let's take another look.
The reason why I didn't take your side is because I was sharing a bed with Casey. And if I was to say, Lee, I'm completely on your side, that is bitching.
Yeah,
and that is meddling.
Two-faced.
And it's two-faced.
Yeah.
And that's not where I am. Linda, I haven't had an argument with one person in this place. I have just stayed out of everyone else's shit. So you know what? Both my nominations, I'm quite happy about because it could have been a fucking lot worse.
Okay, so Louisa called it a martyr performance.
Yes.
What was going on there in your professional opinion?
It was absolutely brilliant because actually Louisa later on says, that little boy, how dare he take control like that? But he did. The very thing she's saying she hates, these spineless men, he pulled up onto the back of the sofa and he actually gathered the group together, and if that isn't taking control with a whole load of brain power behind it, I don't know what is.
So, do you think she feels threatened by him then?
I do, I really do. She's very good at argument and conflict, so is Linda. They have their own style, but Ollie's finding his own style. We've got to remember, we've said it many times tonight, his whole career has been built on the very character he's playing in Made in Chelsea.
Yeah.
But he's also said, my life is built on this too. He doesn't actually have the antenna to go seeking out argument because it's just not for him. Some of us are wired that way.
Linda and Ollie face eviction for the first time. Do you think we're going to see any of their behaviours change?
Linda could, if she wants to, think, right, hell to the wind, I'm now just going to throw little bombs around this place for the last 24 hours and have fun with it, because she can. Because unlike Ollie, she's quite comfortable with it. Ollie could go one way or the other. He's like sort of gone ding, ding, ding. A few little claws have come out and he's gone, oh my goodness, I can do this. And Jim was like, there you go, my boy, you're christened. No virgin argument anymore. And he could show us a little bit more fun. If he stays in a bit longer, he knows he can do that in there quite safely.
Tomorrow as well, Jim and Linda face off in eviction. It could be seen as a grudge match. Do you think that is how they will view it?
I've tried to sort of stand in the shoes of both of them in the last kind of 24 hours, thinking this could be a great opportunity for finally some resolve to come from some of this past transferential conflict they've brought into the house with them. But no. It's just going to keep going and going and going. And because they are very, very experienced argumenters, I think we're just going to get a whole load more of fireworks, because they're just, again, going to think, what have we got to lose? I might be going in 24 hours. How good
But will it come to a head, or will it just continue? Will it just bubble along?
What's between them can't come to a head. It's such old material. And I've said before, if both of them wanted to get to the bottom of it, they'd both probably need almost couples therapy to get in and deep as to what this might be. And it might not even be to do with either of them personally. Linda's stuff may have come from another place and Jim's from another place completely. So that's why we're seeing the aftermath and the ripples of this constant niggling and arguing. There is material between them, but not what I think it's about. That's what my therapist sense is telling me.
OK. Diane, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Still to come, find out what happened when Rylan met this week's nominees. Plus, Ollie has his say in the diary room. We'll see you very soon. Welcome back to Big Brother husband on the side. The show that can never be accused of sitting on the fence because according to most of the forums, we are biased about each and every one of those housemates in that house. Here is what Ollie had to say this morning.
The right people that were around were very lovely, and they were always like, that's a lovely thing to say, well done. I thought that was it. And then Louisa and Linda, sadly, decided to make a big hoo-ha laugh and joke about it, saying it's all about me and singing songs and dancing around the room saying it's all about me, it's all about me, it's all about Ollie. And it's really, and it upset me. And I went in and had an argument with them, and I said, well, this is my argument now. I was like, and I can get involved in this, I can stand up for myself. Because what you're doing is rude, upsetting, not fair in any way, because you're the ones preaching to me about confrontation and about standing up for myself. So I thought, I'll stand up for myself at one point, and as soon as it happened, oh, it's all about Ollie, it's all about Ollie. It's not all about me. I was like, the fucking entire rest of the show has been about Louisa's argument. I was like, okay, I will make my stand, I will make my stand, I'll do that, why not? And I did that, and then got shot down with nastiness and just hideousness. Like, it's not even fair. Oh, I need to calm down.
When he's like that, it makes him even more attractive, doesn't it? It's like, woo, Ollie! Okay, so the House has spoken, and in a minute, this lot will have their say as well. But now, it's time to fulfil our contractual obligations, because we have to show at least 2 minutes of Rylan when he's not actually presenting. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. Something tells me I need to renegotiate my contract.
So, are you ready for your questions?
Yes, hit me.
Let's do this. Why are you going into the Celebrity Big Brother house?
The fact is that people don't understand is that I'm actually half Badger. A lot of bullying took place at school and...
Badger boy. Badger bastard. Linda, do you think you can win it?
Oh.
Bring it home for the Nolans.
No, bring it home for me.
Fuck the Nolans, just take it home for you. What did you say when you first got the call about Big Brother?
No, they couldn't pay me enough.
Couldn't pay you enough money?
Yeah.
So then what happened?
Then they paid me enough.
We have heard, Jim, you're giving your fee to charity from Big Brother. Do you want to talk to us about that?
It's the Jim Davison Ex-Wives Fund, and I'd like the public to join me in helping the real victim of all those ex-wives, Jim Davidson.
I don't do things for money.
What about sex for money?
Yeah, I've done that many times, but don't tell anyone.
I still want that refund. You were shit. Do you think you'll be all right, though, if you're up for eviction?
I'd be gutted, I would be gutted.
Because you are an emotional person.
Oh, I'm awful. I cry at insurance adverts.
Yeah,
I cry at
they're
everything.
sad, though, babe,
They are.
lately. If you've seen all the Christmas
Parkinson.
adverts.
Oh, yeah.
Ah. Yeah.
Sad stuff.
How would you feel if someone was in bed with you and you woke up and they'd pissed all over your leg?
I always sleep in Gore-Tex pyjamas, just in case there's any seepage or splash. Who's going to piss the bed, for
Well,
Christ's sake?
Charlotte pissed the bed in the summer.
Oh, she did.
Babe, experiment.
Yeah.
You're in the prime of life.
By wetting the bed?
Or pissing on someone.
I didn't say I hadn't done that.
Has anyone ever pissed on you before? No, thank God. Yes or no? Would you piss on Lee from Blue's face?
Probably. For good crack.
How would you feel if someone laying next to you pissed the bed, Charlotte?
I wouldn't mind.
Are you into all that?
No, I'm not into it personally. I don't want anyone to wheel me.
Because there's another housemate that is.
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Any other rumours that you've heard he might be going in house?
Ollie Lott. He's bisexual. It's really interesting with the guy, actually. Because I don't think that's true.
Do you think it's bi now, gay later?
Yes, I do. Sorry.
Denise Welsh has her tits out in the jacuzzi. And it looks like she might be shagging Frankie Kokoza under the water. What do you do?
Well, after I'm violently sick, or...
Get off him, you dirty bitch, and put your tits away.
I'd crack one out.
Babe.
Yeah.
Julie Goodyear is sucking off a banana in front of you.
Be like, Julie, stop.
What?
Let me show you how it's done.
One skin, two skin, three skin.
On Olive. Oh, come to Nana.
Fuck that, just fucking get some of this, darling. No, I wouldn't.
Good answer, darling.
I think I was just a little bit sick in my own mouth watching Rylan simulate oral sex. Okay, last night the celebrities nominated Face to Face, meaning that either Jim, Lee, Linda, Louisa or Ollie will be out and in this studio tomorrow. But who is going to go? As ever, we'll give an equal amount of time to each of the housemates. When the time's up, we'll hear this noise.
I'm not very good in restaurants.
Not very good in restaurants. And then we'll move on to the next one. So let's start with Jim. Let's start the clock. Matt, he's survived 4 evictions. Is he unstoppable?
I think he is. I think he'll be going all the way to the finish, and I think Jim will be in the final.
A lot of his nominations centred around his arguments and about if the arguing stopped, would he go?
Well, I think he's found a way into our hearts with some sort of weird, twisted integrity type thing, hasn't he? I think if you're in the house, he must be the most annoying person on earth, but we're not in the house, and so he's all right to us because we only see him for an hour a night.
Well, he's very fun to watch.
He is fun to watch, and he is funny. He's funny, and funny's great.
Sometimes
but he's
a load
also
about, but,
really, he's also tricky, and I wouldn't like to live with him.
Jethro, you know him really well, don't you?
I
You're
do.
a good friend of his. Do you think he would care if he left this close to the final? Because he did say last night, if he stays tonight, then he'll win it.
I'm not very good in restaurants.
Answer really quickly.
He's in there to win it. Jim has been a winner all his life. Every club he went into, he had to fight those audiences and get to where he's got now. Jim is there to win. Make no mistake about that at all.
Okay, let's move on to Lee. Let's start the clock. Jim had a little bit longer. Okay, so he's up mainly because of how he handled the love triangle. Matt, is this storyline the making of him or the breaking of him? Some would think initially the breaking.
Do you know what? The way that television works, I think it could be the making of him.
Do you think
people are talking about him and he's entertaining and he's a nice guy? He's just got in a bit of a pickle.
Is he turning it around?
I think he is, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you're like, what are they going to say in the audience? So he's had mega boos on eviction nights normally. How are you all feeling about him now?
He's a sleaze. He's just been so detrimental towards women. You know what I mean? And Jasmine's phone call the other night said it all. She's lost her hand.
Any woman that doesn't agree with this man? Anybody liking Lee?
I'm not very good in restaurants.
You put your hand up too late. I can't believe it. Okay, let's move on to Linda. How would you find living with Linda?
For me?
Yeah.
Well, she's a hefty sort of bird. And sort of woman would light up a room just by moving away from the window.
Oh, that's hard.
Yes, if I woke up with her, I'd call the police. And then I'd send a very complimentary letter to the local brewery.
So I think I can assume that you wouldn't like to live with her.
Apart from that, she's all right.
So whilst watching From Secret in the Mutts Nuts, Louisa remarked that Linda was coming across as bitter. What do you think, Annabelle?
I think it's a real shame. I think she's probably forgotten that we're all seeing everything and has got carried away with what's going on. Because I honestly think, when I saw she was in there, I thought she's going to win. She's going to be lovely and mummy and warm and everyone's going to adore her.
I'm not very good in restaurants.
And she's not very good in restaurants.
Just a bit more.
But I think she's suffering from being in there too long, and I suspect she's menopausal like me. And it's, let me tell you, it's a
imagine
nightmare.
that the deep-rooted issues that she has are just not leaving her and it's dominating all of her thoughts.
Her poor husband and all that. It's all
Let's talk about Louisa. During Face to Face nom, she tried to change her nominations. She loves rule breaking, Matt. Do you want to continue seeing rule breaking? Are you sick of them yet? Where do you sit with it?
I'm kind of bored of it, to be honest. I'm kind of bored of her. I think it's the same thing. She's an interesting housemate, definitely, but I just think she's stirring a little bit too much. She knows what she's doing. I think she's trying to play the game, and we can see through it now. We're all a bit, accustomed to it.
Tonight, Jim labelled her a shit stirrer and said he'd have a fab old time if she wasn't in there. Jethro, do you agree?
Yes, I do. 100%. I think what she's done, we're talking Linda now, aren't we?
No, Louisa.
Oh, Louisa. Well, I mean.
He's got it in
Let's be fair. Louisa is a
Not very good in restaurants.
self-admitted sexual maniac. She told that herself. She'd been in there for 19 days. She hadn't pulled. I think she probably hit him where she can't scratch herself, and she's turned violent.
Okay, last but not least, let's move on to Ollie. He has been one of the quieter housemates. Does he deserve to stay, Matt?
Ollie, absolutely. End of story. I think Ollie's probably going to win this. He's going to win this.
In his speech, he said he's tried to make the house a better place. Do you think he has? Yeah?
I actually think what Ollie did tonight was a really good thing. I think that Louisa's just upset because he's taken the centre of attention away from her, and she's used to commanding the entire house, so she didn't like that he took that control. So I think he's done a really good job, and I think he's probably going to win because of it.
Big words, big words. Who shouted me then?
He couldn't win, could he? He's not opinionated. He is opinionated, and then everyone's having a go at him for him.
The nice guys always win.
He just couldn't win. He's great, Ollie. Ollie to win. Ollie to win. And from that, he'll win it. I think he'll win it.
Ollie to win. Ollie to win.
Not very good in restaurants.
Okay, and finally, let's go down the panel. Jethro, who do you think will leave tomorrow?
Tomorrow, Louisa, I think.
You think Louisa will go? Annabelle?
I think Linda's going to go, and she'll be very pleased.
Linda.
Linda, who do you think? I love everyone saying Linda, but the lady on the back who has been Linda's faithful fan this whole 3 weeks. She's made her own Team Linda badge. Is still going, no. Thank you all very much. Thank you. Still to come, you can find out what happened when Dappy faced Linda this morning. We'll see you in a bit. Welcome back to Celebrity Big Brother's Bet on the Side. I think it's clear to see why the series has been extended. Look how far we've come in the last few weeks. I mean, it just gets better and better. We've had finger holes to reaching North Poles, and then
magical
touching souls.
It's
all
time
been
for the
magical.
news, everybody. Let's stop talking.
At 10:26 this morning, the tension in the air was just too much for poor Dappy.
Poor Dappy.
Mama Lynn, I don't like this awkward silence between me and you. I don't like it. Please. Thank you, Jesus. Listen, I truly regret nominating you. My hands up, it's a big mistake. I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it. Like, I don't know how, I can't even look at you in your bed. I'm sorry, innit?
It's all right.
Hands up, yes?
Well, don't worry about it.
Thank you, Jesus.
I don't like that talking to you.
I admit, petty reason, my fault. It's too late. Hands up.
I'm glad we're talking.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Jeez, I'm back to normal now. Oh, I'm so happy. Thank you.
So am I.
Thank you.
Oh, who would have thought that this round of nomination would cause so much trouble and emotion?
What a bunch of babies. I mean, Tom Jones wasn't so pissed off when you nominated me for Sexiest Man in Wales 2014, was he now? Come on.
I didn't nominate you.
What?
I didn't nominate you.
Why not?
Because I'm Team Tom. Hashtag.
Are you kidding me? Oh, you're talking about the voice. Get off, right, I'm annoyed.
See ya. 10:29, Jim took on the role of wildlife narrator. Paul Marcus will be so put out.
He's mental. Dappy doing a little morning dance. Here on Planet Dappy, the Dappy wakes out of bed, puts on the dark plumage, finds a reflective surface, bounces off the bed, collapses. He's back up again, rolling the morning cigarette, or burn as it's called in Dappyville. He'll soon be out here puffing away, speaking in a language known only to other Dappies. The mating sign or greeting is always the first to come. Then he's off to there, here, up there, round there, and in there, till he has his 15th change of plumage before retiring to the nest after the traditional nest jumping. Yes, the world would be a sadder place without the Dappy.
And if we stay very quiet, we might catch a glimpse of the lesser spotted Matt Johnson. This normally Welsh-dwelling carnivore has migrated east to warmer temperatures. See how he reacts with lesser animals in their food chain. See how he accepts the offerings of coffee. He is deeply unsatisfied and is putting the runner in their place. Glorious to watch. I think it's lovely to watch. Come back, Matt.
Sorry,
You all right?
Yeah, good,
What's
yeah.
been going on?
Bit upset with the Tom Jones thing, but I'm all right. I get over it, yeah.
What have you been doing?
Had a coffee, met a nice runner. She was a lovely girl.
Was it
You got-
nice?
Yeah, you got great staff on you.
I'm
It was
glad you're
lovely,
happy here,
It was
it's
the perfect
nice.
temperature.
Finally, at 4:20, the housemates boredom reached new levels and Lee took it upon himself to...
Entertain the rest of the house. Take a look.
All right, annoying.
No, I want to show you something.
Oh.
Watch it. Watch this.
Oh,
Mr. Happy! And I'm Mr. Sad. You can ask us any question you want. You can ask me anything, but don't make it too long.
Why are you sad?
I'm sad because of this fucker.
And why are you happy?
I'm happy because this fucker's sad.
Are you good happy?
Yeah! I always piss on him when he's fucking upset.
You're being flicked off.
It doesn't matter. I don't care anyway. I'm just happy.
Good. And how about telling us a nice happy joke?
Two cows walking down the road.
Yes.
One gets run over.
Yes. Well, that's not a very nice joke, is it?
Yeah, but I fucking love people being unhappy.
Well, there we go. If Blues reunion doesn't go to plan, Lee, there's a place for you on Blackpool Promenade, my friend.
You could do a little duet, you and Lee.
We could, couldn't we?
Yeah.
That'd be, no,
No.
never going to happen.
That's
and that's
today's
the
news. So there are 5 up at this time tomorrow. One of them will very much be out. Here are the numbers you need to save your fave. This week, Jim, Lee, Linda, Louisa and Ollie all face the public vote. Who stays? You decide. From a landline, call 090 20 44 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. From a mobile, call 644 24 and add the number of the housemate you want to save. For Jim, add 05. For Lee, add 06. For Linda, add 07. For Louisa, add 10. For Ollie, add 11. Mobile and BT landline votes cost 50p. Other landlines may vary. Voting closes in Friday's eviction show. Votes cast after the lines close won't count. For full terms, go to channel5.com/bbvote. So Jethro has escaped the studio and he's spreading his Cornish charm around the reality gallery. I hope Annabelle can keep him in check. Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, hello.
Hi, what's
Hello.
happening up there?
Well, I've been handing some reading glasses because I'm too old to see things by myself. And Jethro and I've got some news for you. Do you want some news?
Yes, please.
Right, for today's task, Lee, Jim, Linda, Louisa and Ollie have been campaigning to the viewers why they should be saved from eviction.
Yeah.
They've created campaign posters and speeches to read out to the group.
Okay.
Isn't that right, Jethro?
Yeah.
During Jim's campaign speech, we've only got one pair of glasses, Louisa appears to be falling asleep, which winds Jim up. Isn't that right, Jethro?
Yeah.
I bet.
Lee's opponent campaign speech is about Louisa declaring all her cries are fake and no one wants to hear about her sex parties and opinionated moves, Jim. Isn't that right, Jethro?
Annabelle, that's it. We're done.
Is that it?
Thank you very
Right.
much. Yeah.
Whatever. Thank you for having us.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
I like them too. Lovely. I also like you.
Oh, thank you. That's nice. I like you
What's
too.
happening on the web?
So we had a couple of celebrity tweets about last night's actions. Lord Lionel Blair, he is very happy for Liz. She wanted to leave, and now
Yeah.
that she has. Duncan James, he knows Lee Ryan, I believe.
Who's that?
He's also sad that Liz has been evicted. But Jonathan Ross said he's not happy with Jim and Linda.
I
You
know,
see,
I
he's not.
saw this tweet actually.
I'm
It was brilliant.
so bored of Jim and Linda moaning about each other. If I want to watch grumpy middle-aged people, I'll look in the mirror.
Oh, Jonathan, you
you.
little devil. Hi.
We also asked for some selfies for reactions to the nominations here. Aoife has shown. I think she's keen on Ollie.
I think
she might be keen on Ollie there, Aoife. And also we've had a cockatoo, we've had a lizard, we've had a dog.
Yeah.
Now we have a horse showing its interest in the nominations.
Wonderful.
I don't think the
a
horse.
nice nostril shot.
Very nice nostril shot. I don't think, however, the horse thinks Linda has for much longer in the.
You've just messed it up, haven't you?
No, that's exactly how I wanted it.
Very quickly, who do people want to go tomorrow online? What's the general consensus?
I think Linda is.
odds on hot favourite.
Really?
Hotter favourite than Sugar there, for example.
Oh.
It's a it is a
Anything
shame.
else you need to plug before we go?
Well, I think we should keep coming back to BB on Facebook because we've always got Q&As.
That's it. Time's out. Thank you, though. Right, Ryland's going to be back tomorrow with evictee number 5. He's going to be joined by a man who claims to be the best-looking fat guy in the universe. It's Radio 1's Charlie Sloth. And my favourite, Eamon Holmes is going to be here. Boom!